Before I get into what this video is all about, I just want to mention that we have a very exclusive and inclusive Telegram community. I'm going to leave a link to it in the description below. It's very cool, full of like-minded individuals, crypto investors, DeFi investors. So if you're somebody who enjoys this type of content, conversations around this industry, you're going to have a good time, all right? So join us, don't be shy. And plus, we have a cool project in the works that is going to be launching soon. Ethereum versus Solana. So this conversation has been raging all over Twitter, all over crypto communities for the past couple of days. And this is mainly because for a short period of time, Solana flipped BNB in terms of market cap. It rose to a local top of $130 before correcting now to sub $100 at 99 currently sitting. And it, corrected back down to its fifth place in the top 10. Now, when this was happening, many people were saying because of ETH's old tech and because of ETH's recent price action, Solana will overtake it eventually. And this couldn't be further from the truth. Now here's the thing, when this sort of rally happens, many people tend to forget as to why these rallies happens in the first place. Speculation, meme coins, airdrops. Alright, so that's it. You have to understand that in order for you to look at the performance of a blockchain, you don't look at its performance for the last 1 week, a couple of days, 1 month. Look at consistency, look at usage. And that's what we're going to be touching base on. 3 metrics. There are so many more, but we're going to look at 3. First one is the total value locked on each of these blockchains. Now, the comparison cannot be made. You have Ethereum at almost 30 billion and you have Solana at almost 1.4 billion. In terms of distribution of that total value locked, however, yes, you can make the argument that it's mainly in liquid staking protocols. And you have, for example, on Ethereum, you have Uniswap who captures a lot. You have Aave, a lending protocol, who does as well. On Solana, you have the majority in the top 2 liquid staking protocols, so Marinade and Jitto. And you have some of it on DEXs with Orca Radium, and some of it on other liquid staking protocols like BlazeStake here, and you have some on Camino. And the main reason here, not only because of the yield-driven opportunities, but because people are expecting airdrops from that protocol as well. So there is that, all right? So in terms of where is the money, clearly it's mainly on Ethereum. Now, of course, Ethereum is where the whales play because gas fees are expensive, but at the same time, it's where most of the yield opportunities are, and it's where real money is building and where real projects are building their platforms. That's just a fact, all right? So there's that. Now moving on, let's look at the supply. How is supply contracting and expanding on both of these chains? We're talking about ETH, we're talking about Sol. Now, in terms of Sol, there's a very clear path of where the supply is going to be heading. Right now, inflation is high. It's between 7 and 8%. But the goal here, as time goes on, that supply becomes disinflationary, means inflation will drop back down to somewhere about 1.5% and will stay the course. So as Solana matures, the Sol token will inflate less, and remember, have 50% of the fees is burned, meaning it buys Sol and burns it. So at this point in time, if Solana is still a thing, it could become deflationary if there is more adoption. All right, so this is just simple math, and that's why right now staking on Sol gives you a much higher APR, almost double of what Ethereum gives you, because it's still very early in its development cycle and its maturity cycle as a blockchain. So there's that. So that is the goal. That's how Solana is going to inflate over time. It's not as bad as people might tell you, because people make the claim that it's super inflationary, it will go to zero, but again, you have to look, you have to research, you have to understand what's going on. Yes, it is inflationary now. Sure, Bitcoin was super inflationary in its early days, but look at it now, all right? It has, yes, a higher inflation than ETH even, but it's more valuable. It's much more valuable because demand outweighs that supply by tenfold, all right? So looking at Ethereum, however, Ethereum doesn't have a clear fixed supply. Ethereum mainly depends on its adoption. So there's a cool website here called ultrasound.money. It shows you the current status of the ETH supply, because remember, also half of the fees are used to burn the ETH supply and the other is rewarding validators and delegators. So right now we are in a deflationary mode of minus 0.11%, but this is updated very frequently. So this is the current 7-day average. With more adoption, that number will increase negatively. All right, so that supply, if you want to keep a track on it, you can, and I have been for a couple of weeks. It's been shrinking for the past few weeks. All right, so there's more usage on the chain, there's more gas being paid, hence there's more ETH being burned. I think the current rate is 1.91 ETH per minute. That's a lot of money. Millions are being burned. So in terms of supply, ETH has a much better outlook. Right now, 120 mil versus I think 400 something mil. One is inflationary, one is deflationary. All right, here's the current status. Moving on to the last metric I want to look at, and that is simply the active wallets that are leveraging the blockchain. And that's a very important metric. You want to see if there are users using the blockchain. Now, in the case of ETH, look at the chart here. Like, you have excessive peaks, sure, but it is more or less steady with also downturns. Right now, you have a small uptrend here. You have approximately 450,000 wallets a day currently using the blockchain. Now, on the Solana side of things, the metric that I could fetch and that I could look at is the monthly active wallets. Now, right now it jumped to 20 mil because there is a lot of usage on Solana. The price rose quickly. Many people are moving money there to take advantage of the meme hype and as well as the airdrop hype. All right, so that's quite normal in my personal opinion. Just one moment, I want to show you what I'm looking at here. There it is. So for December, we have the highest number of active wallets, very close to 20 mil. It's 19 million actually. But if you do the math, Ethereum's monthly active users are still higher. They're about 30 mil versus 19 million here. But if we're talking about steadiness, Ethereum is better because here you have peaks. So we jumped to 90 million, but in November we were only at 10 million. If we want to really assess the activity on Solana, we have to wait a bit and do a moving average. All right, so I expect this to be half of what Ethereum has, but the catch is that Ethereum has almost 20 times the total value locked. So there's that. But still, in terms of activity, Ethereum still wins the cake. Now, why did I do this? Why did I talk about the comparison in terms of metrics? One main point is for me to reiterate the fact that when you look at an asset, look at what's behind that asset, either a blockchain, a protocol, a DEX, or whatever there might be. Look at what drives the price of its asset and don't just like go around and throw price predictions and expect them to stick. This isn't gonna happen. Nobody has landed the price prediction 100% accuracy for that matter. All right, so just keep in mind that if you wanna look at a certain asset, either downgrade it or upgrade it, you have to have things that matter in terms of activity, in terms of growth, in terms of supply, not just the price, because the price can quickly change. We have seen this time and time again. All right, so will Solana flip Ethereum? In my opinion, I'm not gonna say never, never say never, but it's very unlikely, highly unlikely, and at least not anytime soon. Okay, with that, see you in the next one. Have a good one.